welcome to the Spark News. Today, I will be your host and will have an exclusively interview with a woman on a journey of signification. She is also an author, a poet. Her first debut book, Dear Bohemian Man, is also the nicest and the finest to read. She also won the New Asian Writing Short Story Competition 2020 for writing A Night with the Tiger. And at the same time, she also won the South Asia Literary Mentorship 2020. So ma'am, it's glad you're here with us. So first of all, from the family of the Spark News and the people of Arunachal as a whole, would like to say congratulations for winning the Penguins India Mentorship Program and also adding one more feather in your cap. So a very big congratulations, ma'am. And welcome. And also kindly give us your short introduction and also your effort behind becoming a writer, and also tell us in brief about your journey.
Hi viewers of the Spark News. I'm Subi Taba. I'm a poet and writer. I was born in Sepa in East Kameng district. Professionally, I work as an agriculture development officer, but by passion, I'm a poet and a writer. My journey as a writer, it started from being a reader. I was very fond of stories. When I was young, my mom used to tell me stories before bed, and I used to ask my cousin brothers in our village to always tell me stories of Abotani. So that way I was very interested in stories since my childhood. And as I grew up, I started to write poetry, but my influence for writing poetry came through music. There were music bands during our childhood like Westlife, Backstreet Boys. This all, although they are music, but they had these English words. So in a way, this kind of, the music and then words and poetry, I felt like they were all interrelated to each other. So that's how I started to really like poetry. And I started writing poetry when I was in class 6, but that was very simple poems which we all wrote just as like our textbooks, and I continued writing but never thought of publishing. But during my college and university days, I used to take part in poetry and essay competitions, and some prizes I won. So our universities used to publish all those poetries. So in a way that revived my interest for poetry, because in school we always had to study so hard for our class 10 board exams and then class 12 board exams. We never had time to study for, give time to poetry and other creative writing. So after college, I think I really started to get into this. And after my university, I decided, after seeing some of my senior poets, self-publishing their works, that's how I got inspired that I should also give it a try. People may like it, people may not like it, that's up to them, but I just thought I should give a try. So that's how I published Dear Bohemian Man in 2015 while I was in university. And that's how my creative writing journey started.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And my second question is that what was your excitement level after hearing or being called out on winning Penguins India Mentorship Program, the perfect pitch in Jaipur Literature Festival?
I was very happy, but more than happiness, I was grateful that I did not give up on my manuscript. My manuscript is titled Tales from the Hinterlands, which has been a project of mine since 2021. And this project I started under the different mentorship program, South Asia Speaks, under Aruni Kashyap. He's also a very famous Northeast writer. So it took me almost 2 years to work on this manuscript, and in November I reached a point where I felt that the manuscript was somehow done, and I was at that time writing synopsis for my manuscript, and this competition came out at the time when I was ready with my synopsis. So this competition was like just the icing on the cake, and the winning this mentorship and possible publication by Penguin, it's very encouraging for me, and it has revived my confidence. Sometimes we feel like our book may not get published, may not be picked by publishers, but this winning thing has, revived my confidence in my own work. And also, when I won, I did not realize the magnanimous, effect it will on me. But from the next day, I started getting so many messages. I don't have time to reply to the messages, and I have like so many Twitter and Instagram followers now after this because so many writers had applied for this throughout India, and I'm very glad and I feel very privileged, to be chosen as the winner of the perfect pitch.
Okay, the third question for you, ma'am, is actually this question, endorsed in me also, because for a young student like me, I inspired from you a lot, ma'am. So my third question is that what message you would give to the people out there who also thinks to become a writer like you?
My message for those who wants to be a writer or any other profession interest, I would advise them to first really try to know yourself. What are your goals? What is it that you really want in your life? Once you have figured out that and decided that you want to do that thing in your life, then be 100% committed and go for it. And for becoming a writer, the most important thing is especially fiction writing. I'm talking about fiction writing. The most important thing would be like you should really want to become that, not just a fiction writer, just any profession. You really should want it, like your whole life depends on it. And I'll just give some examples from my life. I don't know about other writers, but me personally, since my childhood, I think I really like books. I like intellectual things. So I see writers as people who are very classy and who are very well educated and who can imagine things and share their dreams and aspirations in creating a world that makes us believe our real life. And as we have seen in our life and in the world also, there are movies based on, like most of the movies are based on books or either scripts which are written by writers. So that imaginative side, when we see movies like the Jurassic Park, that's one of my favorite, that's also based on a book. So I really like that part of writing, to create a world that transports us to different world. So my aspiration is to create world like that, to create a fantasy world. So advice would be like, if you have decided that you want to be a writer, give your 100%. You have to write every day. You have to read. You have to also work hard to develop your skills like any other professions. For a footballer, you have to practice every day. So for a writer, you have to read others' work. You have to work on your writing skills and keep submitting your work to literary magazines or for publication. And even though you might get 100 rejections, never give up. That would be my advice.
Last but not the least, ma'am, my question is that what is your future plan to go ahead and making us proud by winning prizes for our state?
Well, my future plan is to keep on writing. I have committed, to be a writer all my life. I'll be writing when I'm very old and toothless also. So my future plan is to get into full-time writing beside my job and other responsibilities. And I aspire to be a writer from our region who will bring out our region into the national and international platform for people to know about our culture, our tradition, and our supernatural belief system, and also about our geography and the ethnic practices of people of Arunachal. That is something I aspire to do through works of magical realism, fantasy, and through works of nature. I want to be that sort of writer.
So, ma'am, it's like a dream come true for me, for speaking to the one that I inspire the most.
Thank you so much.
So, this is your reporter, Mr. Arjun Yangdaneri, and with my camera person, by motion. And please give us your permission to bid goodbye. Thank you.